Welcome to our Reflective Information channel, sponsored by Reflective Incorporated, the Visibility Company. This video is part 3 and the final one in our series on the history of reflective tape. It covers the invention and proliferation of prismatic reflective tapes. For more information on retroreflectivity, click on our channel link below to access our other videos. And, as always, feel free to contact Steve at reflectivestore.com with any questions.
When you drive at night, prismatic retroreflective sheeting is almost assuredly the reflective material that makes the signs you see light up and visible for thousands of feet away. 50 years ago, this was not the case.
In the 60s, the 50s, and before, only glass bead films were used for traffic signs, with no other options available. And although this was a vast improvement over non-reflective painted signs, they only reflected up to about 75 candelas for white engineer grade. So when a prismatic retroreflective film that could return over 1,000 candelas of light was invented, it was a big deal. In this video, we are going to discuss how this amazing invention came about.
In our previous video, we covered the invention and adoption by the market of engineer-grade reflective tape, an innovation by the 3M company. The product was working well for almost 2 decades, with improvements made as time progressed. One such improvement was the creation of high-intensity glass bead reflective tape, discussed below. But even as high-intensity reflective tape was being developed, a new product that would make it almost obsolete was in the works.
In review, in 1928, Jonathan Cass Stimson patented an array of cube-corner prismatic reflectors and began creating products like road marker reflectors, bike reflectors, vehicle reflectors, emergency reflectors, and so on, all using his triple mirror retroreflective array. So it was common knowledge that a cube corner reflector worked and was actually much more efficient and brighter than glass beads. But even with a knowledge and understanding of these prisms and their ability to return light so efficiently, no one had ever thought of creating a retroreflective tape using this technology. That is, until Bill and Hugh Rowland came along. The Rowland brothers of Connecticut did what no one else had ever considered doing. They innovated and invented a way to miniaturize a prismatic cube corner array and integrate this array into a thin, pliable film. To do this, man-made microscopic prism arrays, not much larger than a human hair, were embossed onto the back of a clear or tinted polymer. Then a silver mirror finish was applied to the back of the prisms. Finally, an adhesive backing was applied. The result was a reflective film that was brighter than any other film on the planet. A film that returned 80% of light versus 30% for engineer grade. Millions of small microprisms in the film resulted in a film over 10 times brighter than engineering grade and many times the brightness of 3M's high-intensity beaded sheeting. And this was a monumental event.
The manufacturing process was complex, and because of this, prismatic films were more expensive to make. But for applications where viewers needed to see the tape from a much longer distance, this new prismatic sheeting was the perfect solution. So, in the beginning, 3M sales were insulated from this new film. But suffice it to say, they were concerned.
In any event, the Rowland brothers' invention would be as big an advancement in reflective technology as the 3M company's engineer-grade tape was 30 years before. It would revolutionize the reflective sheeting industry. In 1970, after patenting their technology, they formed a company, Reflexite, and in 1973, they began marketing their micro-prismatic retroreflective sheeting. To this day, Reflexite, now Aurifol, remains a leader in the reflective sheeting industry, with their specialty being vehicle conspicuity, work zone sheeting, and personal safety. In 1971, 3M launched a new line of glass bead technology tapes known as High-Intensity Type 3, the year after Reflexite, previously Rowland products, patented their new prismatic films. This product, also known as encapsulated glass bead sheeting, took glass beads and placed them into honeycomb cells. The beads, instead of being enclosed or surrounded by polymer, were fully exposed beneath a film of very clear plastic, with an air layer between the plastic and the beads.
This allowed the high-index metallized beads to reflect at their highest possible level, about triple the reflectivity of engineer grade. As a comparison, today's engineer grade films reflect at about 75 candelas, while high-intensity film reflects at 250. In contrast, prismatic films invented by Reflexite reflect at up to 1,000 candelas. Of note is the fact that 3M actually did quite well with their high-intensity sheeting due to their distribution network and marketing ability. Reflexite, on the other hand, did not pursue the traffic sign market with their new product and chose instead to focus on vehicle conspicuity and other dynamic applications. And as they did, their prismatic product gained more and more popularity due to its brightness, its single-layer design, and the fact that it could be plotter cut.
At the same time, new players came into the market that competed with 3M. In 1975, Cebu, a Japanese company, created a line of glass bead reflective films, branded Cebulite, and introduced them into the American market. A year later, in 1976, they released the product into United Kingdom markets. In the 1980s, Stimsonite, the American company who had patented triple mirror prismatic arrays in 1928, came up with their own prismatic reflective sheeting to compete with Reflexite. This made sense since it was Stimsonite that pioneered prismatic reflectors in the first place. So they basically took their own idea and integrated it into their own branded sheeting. In 1989, 3M launched their diamond grade line of reflective sheeting. This was and is a high-quality and very rugged prismatic sheeting for signs. Because of their dominance and expertise in the field, their new line quickly became the most popular sheeting for signs. 3M also continued to successfully market their glass bead products for signs and alternate applications and maintained a dominant market share. The bottom line is, 3M is very good at marketing their products.
In 1991, Cebu is acquired by the Tokyo-based company Nippon Carbide. Cebulite reflective films are rebranded as Nicolite films, and Nippon Carbide begins marketing engineer-grade tapes, high-intensity glass bead films, and prismatic films worldwide and continue to do so to this day. Nippon Carbide's Nicolite line is comparable to 3M's, with both being highly respected in traffic markets around the world.
In 1999, Avery Dennison acquires Stimsonite and adds the company's microprismatic sheeting to their line of retro-reflective tapes, thus filling out their product offering. Stimsonite is later sold again to Ennis Flint, but without the reflective sheeting. In 2006, 3M introduces diamond grade DG3 sheeting, which is very similar to their original diamond grade, but brighter and reflective at sharper angles. Both 3M and Avery continue to innovate, but mostly in the sign sheeting market. In 2011, Reflexite merged with the multinational company Orifol, making the new company one of the largest manufacturers of reflective sheeting in the world with the most diverse product line. Reflexite's line of reflective microprismatic tapes is rebranded with the Oralite name, and very quickly, they expand into advanced airback sign sheetings.
3M and Avery, Orifol's biggest competitors, continue to create new prismatic products, mainly in the prismatic sign sheeting area. 3M carries excellent products, and from the beginning, they have been skilled at marketing them to the right customers. Their films are on signs across the country and around the world for a good reason. However, no one has been able to match Orifol's Oralite brand in the area of prismatic work zone sheeting, DOT truck tapes, railcar FRA films, school bus tape, photoelectric products, gate arm reflective films, Solas marine tape, and prismatic reflective graphics film. This ends our three-part series on the invention of reflective tape, a product that has kept all of us safe for our entire lives, whether we realized it or not. For more information on our reflective products, send an email to steve@reflectivestore.com. Thank you for watching our video, and have a great day.